Wall Street veteran Bernard Madoff has been arrested and charged with running a $50 billion Ponzi scheme.
Congress wants to know what caused the Enron meltdown.
Now, while the collective rage currently is focused on WorldCom,
Tyco CEO Dennis Kozlowski was convicted of looting hundreds of millions of dollars.
This is one of the biggest fraud cases ever.
Their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook.
Find out more on this week's episode of White Collars, Red Hands.
1 in 300 million. Those odds are low. And no, they're not the odds of me finding love or me getting my life together or me finally making my parents proud of me.
Because that'd be zero. Yeah.
1 in 300 million are your chances of winning any lottery. Although the chances of winning the lottery are exceptionally low, every day people go to the convenience store or the gas station to try their luck at being the winner. It was easier for Charlie Bucket to get a golden ticket to Wonka's chocolate factory than it is for me to win a Powerball. Yes, the chances of winning the lottery are microscopic, but there are a fortunate few who do win. Just the chance of winning makes people go back for more and more each and every week. But if you win the lottery and you now have become a millionaire overnight, what should you do? Who should you call? Today, we're talking about the man who could scratch off his profession as the lottery lawyer. Who was he? Why are we talking about him? Find out on this week's episode of White Collars, Red Hands.
Yo, shout out the Bucket family. I hope your grandparents got out of that one bed they all weirdly share.
They were swingers.
Man, and they said they never got out of the bed, too. So you know that they're, like, sending a bedpan around, like Grandpa Joe's just, like everyone turn your eyes.
Oh, gross.
I had an extra helping of cabbage and water soup last night. That's all they were eating.
You know,
and
they
bread.
were blowing up, Dutch ovening that bed so bad.
Oh, it had to smell terrible in that place.
God.
Yeah, and it's like in London, which I've never been there, so don't get me, but I've heard it already smells bad, right? So if you're adding 4 old people smells all in the same bed.
With cabbage?
In a one bedroom house with cabbage.
With loose sphincters?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oof.
Can you imagine even trying to eat a chocolate bar in that room? Oh my God.
Well, you become
gag.
used to it after a while.
And that's so sad.
Well, on that note, welcome to another episode of White Collars, Red Hands.
I'm Kashan.
And I'm Nina. And today we are trying our luck at the lottery. Okay, we're not trying our luck at the lottery, but we're talking about Jason Kurland, who was the lottery lawyer. I myself have become tempted to start playing the lottery after researching this episode. It makes me want to win the lottery.
Everyone wants to win the lottery. That's a big difference than playing the lottery. I like how your whole setup was like, it's almost impossible to win the lottery. Like, don't even try. It's worthless. And then you're like, oh, God, I just really want to do it. That's the problem.
Yeah, I want to win.
It's a poor person tax.
I know. Okay, Dave Ramsey. That's what he says.
Who's Dave Ramsey?
Are you serious right now?
I'm bad with names.
Okay, he's that Christian financial advisor who's like outdated.
I think I've seen like him on TikTok. I don't think I knew his name, but I think I know the guy you're
the
talking about.
bald guy with glasses.
That's the one, and he's like weirdly aggressive.
He's so aggressive for no fucking reason.
Man.
Yeah, he says that the lottery is tax on the poor.
I mean, it's kind of true. It's state run, and who plays the lottery? Not anyone that already has money.
Not very often.
It's kind of dystopian if you think about it for more than like 30 seconds.
I mean, it is. It is. I've only played the lottery a couple times.
I have never. Yeah.
In college, I did buy like when it was like a couple $1 billion. I tried. Didn't win, obviously.
Oh, really?
It's shocking.
Ugh, I was gonna say.
And then my aunt has bought me scratch offs for like Christmas a couple times.
I'll do a scratcher, whatever, every now and again. That's different than playing the lottery. I mean, the scratcher, there's probably like a 10% chance you win like $1 back or something. Like a big chance you lose, but a very small chance you win a little.
Yeah.
The lottery is just throwing money into a pit.
Yeah, literally.
Basically.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. But on that note.
But if I did throw my money into a pit, Nina, what? And I needed a lawyer. Who would I call?
You would call Jason Kurland. Now, we all know that lawyers make good money, and Jason Kurland was no exception. Kurland was a New York-based lawyer who was making about $500,000 a year before he became involved with people who won the lottery.
Whoa, that's like a 30th of a lottery per year. That's crazy.
That is true. That is true. Now, some people are divorce lawyers. Some people are bankruptcy lawyers. But Jason Kurland, as we have said, specialized in representing clients who were lottery winners. He fell into this because in 2011, a group of hedge fund managers from Connecticut won a $250 million jackpot and were looking for help with their earnings.
Hey, remember when I said that no one affluent plays the plays the lottery, and then was immediately debunked like 3 minutes later?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Just as long as we both remember it.
Yeah, I remember. No, I do think it's pretty fucked up when people who like make a bunch of money play the lottery.
Yeah, get out of here. This is, you don't need this.
You don't need this. This is for me. This is for me.
Especially if you manage a hedge fund, that's like not just wealthy. That's like you are money.
Yeah. Well, they needed help with their jackpot winnings, and a friend referred the group to Kurland, and he represented them. Now, there was some drama surrounding the hedge fund managers. Many claimed that they were hired to hide the identity of the real lottery winner. But the publicity of the hedge fund managers alerted people to Kurland, and he started getting more and more clients who had won the lottery and needed guidance with their newfound money.
How many of these people are there? Like, they're just coming out of the woodwork? Like, if all your clients won the lottery, that has to not be a lot of people.
So you would think that. He did represent people throughout the entire United States. It wasn't just, he was in New York. Those guys were from Connecticut. It wasn't just people in New England.
Like 48 states have a lottery or something?
I think so.
I think only a couple don't, but I don't know. I'm pulling that out of nowhere, so grain of salt.
Yeah, most states do have a lottery. And he would go on record and recommend that if you had a winning over $1 million, that you should contact a lawyer. So not all of his clients were these extreme jackpot winners. Some of them had made like smaller amount, had won smaller amounts.
Yeah, only $3 million,
Yeah, just
nothing life changing.
Yeah, and chump change, It's just throwaway money, honestly. I don't know about you, but like I spent $3 million.
Yeah, whenever I pop down onto the Keys.
Oh yeah.
On the weekend, and I got $3 million burning a hole in my pocket. Not for long.
Not for long, BB.
Oh my God.
The next person who reached out to him was a 81-year-old woman named Louise White, who had won the $336 million jackpot. Why are you 81 and playing the lottery?
That's so sad. She's gonna have like no time to enjoy it.
Like 10 years, and you can't even travel that much.
At least at that point you could just blow it all though. You'd be like,
on what?
If I was an old lady, I'd be like, fucking, I'm getting me a Bugatti Veyron, and I don't even know what it is. When someone just suggests like this is something you could buy with $300 million, I'd be like, okay, let's buy it.
She gets to go, Grandma, you get to go to the nice nursing home.
Hell yeah.
No bed sores for you, Grandma.
You're going to a nursing home in Dubai. All the hospital beds are made out of gold.
Yeah, literally. Kurland put out ads showing the public that he could be trusted with their money and that he would guide them in this new exciting time in their lives. Social media also helped Kurland grow his business, as it does with all businesses. It helps us all reach an audience that we wouldn't normally reach. But on his social media channels, Kurland would give advice to lottery winners on what they should do with their earnings. And his website, lotterdlawyer.com, which has since been taken down, would detail the steps that people needed to take when winning the lottery. Also, whenever there was any big jackpot that was, up for, what do I want to say? That was happening.
That won?
Well,
oh, no, it was just like in play?
Yeah, it was when it was in play. News stations would often bring him on and interview him, and he would talk about like what you should do or things like that. I was reading, so it's actually kind of hard to find the videos that he put out now. I was having a hard time finding them, but I did find one, and then I was also watching YouTube videos about him as well, and I was reading some of the comments, and somebody had commented on it and was like, oh, wow. Now, this video was from about 3 years ago when everything was going down. And someone on it commented, and they were like, oh, wow, if I ever won the lottery, he was going to be my first call. And I was like, are you being serious, or are you, like, messing around? Because I had never heard of this guy, but apparently, like, people knew who he was.
I don't know who this guy is.
No.
But I never played the lottery.
I don't play the lottery either, so... Here are Jason Kurland's steps on what you should do when you win the lottery. He says, first, double check the numbers on your ticket and sign the back of the ticket. Now, double checking the numbers seems like an obvious thing to do, but Kurland has said that he has had people contact him thinking that they had won, but they either looked at the numbers incorrectly or they were looking at the wrong date.
Yikes.
That is totally something I would do.
Oh, yeah, because does it, like, switch every week? Like you get new numbers every week? Is that how it works? So you could get the winning numbers last week, but they don't count the next week?
Yeah, so if there's a lottery, yeah, I think that's how that works. Like, okay. Yeah, I guess for these, like, big Powerballs, that might be how it works.
Yeah, once again, lottery.
Well, no, they pull one ticket. And that's the number of... No. So with the Powerball...
That's numbers. They choose the numbers.
They choose the numbers.
They're on the balls. So I know that.
Yeah. If you have, like, a really big, like, Mega Millions jack... Now, I know Mega Millions and Powerball are different. But they pull one number. And, like, that they pull one big number. And you have 180 days to claim it.
But it is it like Powerball where there doesn't have to be a winner though? Like it's a random number.
Yes.
That maybe someone got, maybe someone didn't.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. From my understanding, yes. But I'm thinking for these smaller jackpots is when like they got the wrong date.
Oh, okay.
That's when this comes up. And he also says to sign it because if that ticket were to ever go missing, at least someone else can't cash it in. Because there's no way to prove that you bought that ticket. That exact ticket. You could have proof. You could have a receipt that like, hey, look, I went to I went to 7-Eleven at this time and I bought this.
A ticket, yeah.
I bought a ticket, but it doesn't prove that it's your ticket. So once you see that it's a winning number, sign the back of that in a pen so that no one else can cash it in.
You think someone... That'd be so funny if someone's like, I did sign it, but...
It was in pencil.
They erased it. So what do I do now?
You never know. People could be dumb, dude. Second tip that he gives is to photocopy the front and back of the ticket and store the original in a safe deposit box. Don't do anything with the original until you are about to turn it in for your earnings. The third thing he says is to stay quiet and don't tell people. Kurland would say to only tell close family members or friends who could support you during this time, but otherwise, don't tell anyone. This is because many lottery winners who have either chosen not to remain anonymous or can't remain anonymous have been harassed or stalked by people who want their money. And once you're outed as being a winner, your life of normalcy is over. There are about 21 states who have a lottery who allow you to remain anonymous. However, however many other states, 27, won't allow you to remain anonymous.
You're forced to go public. I'm forced to have everyone from my high school contacting me and asking me for $1,000 because you have it now.
Yep.
And I need more meth. I'm like, okay, I get it, Christina. You need more meth, but it's like, come on. I haven't seen you for 12 years. Okay.
I also need a summer home, so.
You do meth. I do Sudoku puzzles, right? We're not the same. I'm not giving you $1,000.
I would love it if a couple people from my high school would contact. If I won the lottery, I would love it if a few people from my high school hit me up and I could be like, remember when you called me fat?
You could do that anyway. Just fun fact. You can message them now and be like, remember when you called me fat? If you chose chaos today, you could do that.
I know what I'm doing tonight.
So feel free.
Finally, he advises that you get a team of professionals to help you, specifically an attorney, an accountant, and a financial planner.
I gotta get 3 employees immediately?
I don't think I needed 3 employees. Ugh. Honestly, I understand. Listen, if I'm going to win $1 billion, I really wouldn't know what to do with all that money. Like, put it into accounts.
Put it into accounts? Could you say anything more vague?
I don't know what to do. Help me.
You sound like half the people on this podcast. I got $1 billion and I put it into
Half the people on this podcast. I am half the people on this podcast
that we cover, Nina.
Oh.
Half of the people that steal money and put it into shell companies. I got $1 billion and I put it into accounts. Yeah.
Like, help me invest. I don't know what to invest in. I'll buy a shitty apartment building.
I hear index coins pretty cool. That's something I've heard of recently.
Oh, crypto. I could invest a lot of my money into crypto.
That's what you should. Hey, if you guys win $1 billion, you should put it all in crypto.
All billion.
Yeah.
Good idea.
That'll be a good investment.
Now, when you win the lottery, you have the choice to either take the money as a lump sum or to get an annuity, which means that it is spread out over your lifetime. So you get monthly installments. It's almost like you are almost getting paid like it's a paycheck or a salary. Kurland often advises people to take the money as a lump sum so that they can invest it right away and watch that money grow over time.
That's an interesting take because I feel like a lot of people say not to do that. Like if you get a big earning because you blow it.
Well,
I guess if you hired a financial planner.
Well, right.
All
then you wouldn't. And if you have somebody managing your money, then you wouldn't have that issue. He says it's almost always more beneficial for you to take the lump sum up front. Also, he said he was saying that if you spread it out over time, because of inflation and stuff, that money is going to lose value. He said he only recommends the annuity if he doesn't think that his clients can refrain from spending.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He had one client specifically who was like, he knew this guy was going to just blow a bunch of money because he was like, I saw an island for $30 million. Like, I want to buy this island. And he's like, I think you need an annuity.
What are you, Nicolas Cage?
Yeah. He's like, you do not need an island. Like, what are you talking about? I don't think I would want an island.
No. Also, the other thing is the island might be $30 million, but all the people you pay every year to run it.
Yeah. And I'm like,
the upkeep on an island's got to be wild.
Well, and then it's like, do I have electricity? Like, do I have to build a house?
Yeah, is there infrastructure on the island?
Is there plumbing? Can I get clean water?
Plumbing? There's water all around it. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't want an island. So Kurland represented many different winners. His clients had won a whopping total of $3 billion. Kurland did represent three major lottery winners. One who had won the $1.5 billion Mega Millions jackpot in 2019. I think it was 2019.
That's half of his total. He represented people who won $3 billion.
Yeah.
And $1.5 billion was one person?
Yeah.
All right.
There's a lot of people.
These numbers are inflated.
No, they're not.
Like Nina's accounts.
I wish my accounts were inflated. Another one won $245 million at the Powerball. Another also had gotten a $150 million jackpot. Now, one of his clients, Beth Smith, which is not her real name, was the winner of the $1.5 billion jackpot, and she was living in South Carolina. Now, what's crazy about her story is that when she went to buy her lottery ticket, she let someone go in front of her to purchase their things, and that person also bought lottery tickets. Now, Smith and her husband already had good jobs, and they were really living fairly comfortably when their life forever changed. When they won the jackpot, they knew that they wanted to give back to the community and charities that were important to them. Smith laid low when she won. She wanted to make sure that she had all of her ducks in a row. She and her husband wanted to make sure that they were set up for success once accepting such a large amount of money. Smith waited so long to claim her prize that people were actually speculating what happened to the winner. There were rumors that the person who had won died of a heart attack when they found out that they had won. Another theory was that the ticket had been thrown in the trash. Some thought that the ticket had gone through the washing machine. One person claimed that they knew who had won, but they had trouble with the police and couldn't come forward to claim their prize.
Who's just making that up for
I don't
fun?
know. I don't
Some
know
people
why
have
you
no
would,
life.
No, you literally, I'm like, why would you make that up? Beth Smith took this time to make sure she did everything right. She researched lawyers and financial advisors to help her with her money so that she was doing everything in the smartest way possible. She also waited so long that South Carolina, got rid of the taxes on it. They were like, we erased the $60 million in taxes that you owe us from this because we just want someone to come forward.
What? They were like, please take this money so much, we'll give you more money?
Yeah.
Wild.
Crazy.
Okay.
So the search for perfect help led her to Jason Kurland. As we said before, Jason Kurland was the lottery lawyer. And from what the Smiths could tell, he was the perfect person to help them with their money. Jason Kurland agreed to help the couple. They paid him a $200,000 upfront fee to help them with their finances, and then agreed to pay him $50,000 per month for his services.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Lawyers are expensive. I know that. This seems more expensive even
Oh, it's astronomical.
than lawyers usually are.
It's astronomical. The thing about this is that there are so few people in this position that it's not like you can ask around or like ask other people for help. Yeah. And then the other bind that they were in was that they were trying to remain anonymous throughout this whole thing. So it's not even like you could go, like, what? There's not a lottery winners Facebook page that you can go on and type, like, hey, does anybody have a recommendation for a lawyer? Like,
fair. I guess that's also why you would need a lawyer, too, because you need someone who can legally act as a middleman to represent you, which probably has to be a lawyer. I feel like you could get any lawyer, though. But I guess if you won the lottery, you should get the lottery lawyer, right?
Yeah. Kurland would often have high upfront cost of working with the lottery winners and would charge them. Now, as I said, they were paying $50,000 in monthly fees. His fees would range between $15,000 and $50,000 per month to watch over their finances for the rest of their lives. Now, obviously, I have never gotten any kind of money like this, but as we just said, I just do think it seems very, very high. But you can inflate it when you're the only one. It's niche.
Yeah, you're like, oh, what are you going to go to another lottery lawyer? Good luck, babe. I'm the fucking lottery lawyer.
I'm the lottery lawyer, so.
All right, have fun with your consolation prize lawyer.
When everything was squared away with Kurland, the Smiths called up the South Carolina lottery and claimed their winnings. It was kind of crazy the way that it all went down. They were picked up by a driver, taken to the basement of the lottery building, and when they went into the basement, all the windows were covered and the security cameras were turned off so that they could remain anonymous. And just like that, the Smiths had more money than they could ever dream of. It was important to the Smiths that they remain anonymous, and luckily in South Carolina, it is a state that you can remain anonymous. To ensure their anonymity. Did I say that word right? Their anonymity.
You did.
Kurland deposited their winnings into bank accounts that were under his name, and he had control over their money. He did have to inform them if he took out more than $5,000 at one time. Now, the Smiths were very conservative with their spending. They kept true to their word and donated to charities that were important to them, such as the Ronald McDonald House and breast cancer research. They did buy in a hotel for investment purposes and made some other investment choices. The little spending that they did included getting tickets to the Masters tournament, the Kentucky Derby, and an autograph from Rudy Rudiger.
I'm not going to lie. These people sound really fucking boring.
No, they're so boring. They're so boring.
Like, you know what? Let's splurge. Let's go to the Masters tournament. Oh my God, shoot me.
If you were to splurge, you won the lottery and you splurged, what would you do?
Oh, just travel basically anywhere.
Same.
Like, I'm definitely not going to the Kentucky Derby. It lasts 15 seconds. I know it lasts all day. I know it lasts all day. There's races all day. The actual Kentucky Derby part is like 15 seconds.
They only have that one round?
Well, yeah. The one race is just the one time with the horses that have like qualified for the Kentucky Derby.
I didn't even know that.
I thought
that they raced all day.
There are races all day, but it's not the same horses and it's not for the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't want to go to horse races.
No, that's the last thing I want to do. I don't want to wear those stupid ugly hats.
Yeah, I'm not an 1800s like noble woman. Like I don't want to go to a horse race.
Nah,
what the
dude.
Fuck?
I'm going to Thailand.
Is this My Fair Lady? No.
I'm going to Thailand and to Greece.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah, I'm Euro trip.
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yes. The winner of the $245 million was won by a Staten Island construction worker. His story was pretty funny because he purchased the ticket, put it on his counter, and then he went on vacation for a week. So I don't even think he knew he had won until he had gotten back from vacation. everything seemed as if it were hunky-dory. Kurland was getting his bag while the lottery winners had their financial security. However, this story is the subject of our podcast today. So we know it takes a turn.
Oh, no.
Now, while Kurland was dedicated with investing money, it just ended up being invested into his own pocket a lot of the times. Now, all the lottery winners were interested in investing a portion of their earnings, and Kurland suggested that they invest in Cheddar Capital and JBMML.
Cheddar Capital?
Yes.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, you want me to invest
You get
in...
that cheese, baby.
What is that? An offshoot of the Swiss bank?
Yes. Good one, Sean. You're so funny. You're so funny. These were merchant cash advance companies. Now, a merchant cash advance company will give you a lump sum payment, which is based off of future credit or debit card sales. It's mainly for small businesses, and it's almost identical to a payday loan. They have really high interest rates, and they're really, like I said, target small businesses. They kind of took off during the pandemic.
Because the PPP loans were shoving them out of business?
Yeah, exactly. But Kurland neglected to tell his clients that he was a part owner in both of the companies and that he had a 20% stake in Cheddar Capital and that he would also get a 1% finder's fee for any money that was brought in. So he was double dipping with his clients. Like, not only are they paying him per month, but then they're unknowingly paying him extra for his shitty investment companies.
Yeah.
Because these weren't great investment companies. Kurland's business associates were Francis Smukler and Francesco Russo. Now, Russo was the grandson of someone who was in the Colombo crime family.
Oh, these people are everywhere.
Oh, they're everywhere. In October 2018, one client invested $2 million into one of Kurland's companies, but then months later, the company went under. When the funds for one investment ran out, Kurland was quick to have another investment opportunity for his clients. They were always trying to get money quickly, and Smukler and Russo were always trying to get money quickly, and it seemed to me that Kurland just kind of tagged along with what they wanted because they would get him cash fast.
This guy's a lawyer, this isn't his expertise.
He's not an investment guy.
He should not be doing he shouldn't be like giving you investments. That's not his job.
Well, what's crazy to me is that he was like, you need a lawyer, a financial planner, and an accountant. And so it's like, why isn't your financial planner or your financial advisor advising the investments? Why is the lawyer suggesting investments for you?
Well, see, that's what he does. He says you need those three things. And then he flips over his nameplate and it's just his same name, but then it says financial advisor. And he's like, oh, and wait, here's the best part. He flips it over. It's just his name. It says CPA on it. He's like, there you go. You just hired a 3-in-1. I'm like Head and Shoulders shampoo, body wash, and fucking toothpaste. Let's go, baby.
It's like on tombstones when it's like mother, sister, friend. It's literally what it is. He's
lawyer,
like, no, I'm everything.
Accountant, financial advisor.
He's like, I'm the Trinity. Father, Son, Holy Spirit? Nah. Lawyer, financial advisor, accountant. That's me.
Yeah, the Holy Trinity of fucking ruining a dinner. Because that's what that sounds like. Like, this person's going to tell me a bunch of shit I didn't want to hear.
Yeah. So Russo and Smukler were always trying to get money quickly, and they found that with jewelry wholesaler Gregory Altieri. Now, Altieri ran a Ponzi scheme in which he told investors that he was using their money to buy wholesale jewelry at closeout prices, and that he would resell them at a high profit, which would yield 30 to 70% in a few months.
How many jewelry stores are closing down that you can get wholesale jewelry at closeout prices?
I don't know. The only way I could think maybe you would do that is at estate sales. But then you're like, really, this whole thing doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you're on your feet on the ground, like hitting the pavement, going around to estate sales, picking up jewelry? I don't think so. No.
Altieri did originally start his business honestly, but after a while, he realized that it was much easier to move the money around than it was for him to actually do the work. Altieri duped about 80 investors out of $200 million. And honestly, this might be a deep dive that we need to do in a future episode because it is pretty interesting. In January of 2020, Altieri quit making payments to investors, including Smukler and Russo. It wasn't a secret that this was a Ponzi scheme. Russo is on recording saying that Altieri's Ponzi scheme has been exhausted. Now, Russo and Smukler had also loaned Altieri $250,000, and the agreement was because he was running out of cash. So they had loaned him this $250,000, and the agreement was that he was going to pay them back $400,000.
Oh, great.
Not a good deal for him.
Terrible loan to give to a known Ponzi schemer.
Yeah, that's dumb. I don't know why they did that. So Altieri, obviously, his Ponzi scheme is going under. He did not keep his word, and the two, Smukler and Russo, resorted to their old crime boss ways.
They tied him to a chair and beat up his balls.
Not quite, but Russo and Smukler went back and forth with Altieri about, they called him, this was all over the phone. They went back and forth on what they would do to him if they didn't get their money. They threatened Altieri and said that they were going to kill him and his family. Russo and Smukler were very detailed about how they were going to kill him and his family. Russo told Altieri that he had shotguns with lasers and, quote, they're gonna pop your head off in front of your fucking kids. They also warned him that he and his family would be tortured. They threatened him again and told Altieri that they were going to find his wife and make him watch. They also threatened that they were going to rip his son's teeth out of his head.
Jesus.
Now, unfortunately, for Russo and Smukler, the FBI was already listening. The FBI was already listening because Altieri had made a deal with the FBI because he knew that he was toast. And so he was like, well, if I just make this deal, it'll be okay.
Jesus.
But like the investments were already sketchy because, like I said before, this person had invested $2 million, and then the company went under. Beth Smith had made note that they were supposed to be getting the interest payments monthly, and it was in writing of what they should have been making. But then every month it was like inconsistent. Sometimes it would be correct. Sometimes it would be way lower. The checks would be coming late. So there were already red flags happening. Now, almost immediately after all of this went down, the pandemic had hit. And obviously, the trio, Smukler, Russo, and Kurland, were out of a lot of money because of the jewelry business going under. Now, the state of California, because of the pandemic, was desperate to get their hands on masks and face shields. They signed an $800 million contract with Bear Mountain Development to get the face masks and the face shields. Now we enter a new character. Christopher Churchio was a subcontractor with Bear Mountain, and he needed to get money to purchase the inventory for what he was promising the state of California. This is when an associate of his introduces him to Kurland. He knew that Kurland was desperate to make up the money that he had lost with the Altieri Ponzi scheme, and this was the perfect way to do it. Now, Churchio was not a squeaky clean guy. He himself had connections to the Genovese crime family, and he had also previously been in trouble for falsifying bank records. He had claimed that he was a plumber, but he was living in an apartment in New York City that cost $11,000 per month in rent.
All of it in New York City. There's a lot more pipes there.
That's true. There's a lot of sewage, a lot of poop.
Right? So if plumber pay scales with the amount of pipes, who's to say?
Yeah, you know what? We can't say that he was wrong.
Who's to say?
So this investment opportunity sounded like a great idea to Kurland, and Kurland approached Beth Smith with this investment opportunity and also promised her that that a lot of the money would be going to charity. And, she had already, as soon as she won the lottery, she had said, like, I want to put this money towards good things. She's also quoted saying that, like, getting this much money is a lot of responsibility, and it's a lot of responsibility to she feels like she owes the public. You don't, but that's fine. It'd
be nice.
Yeah. And, investing in something that goes towards face masks and is going towards aid of a global pandemic seemed like a good idea to her. And the fact that a lot of the money was going to be donated to charity was also very appealing to her. She invested $19 million to buy PPE, which in this case, PPE stands for
Personal protective equipment.
Yes, personal protective equipment. So $300,000 of that investment was supposed to go to charity, and Kurland and another broker were supposed to match the amount and donate it to charity as well. So in her eyes, I'm investing $19 million, but we're going to donate $1 million to charity. So that seemed like a good idea to her. But Kurland did not give any money to charity, and he actually stole an additional $19.5 million from Smith without her knowledge, because he has control of their accounts. Mm-hmm. The accounts are in his name. He decided to take out this extra money because Churchio had told him that this investment was going to be the way that he made all of his money back after the Altieri Ponzi scheme. And Kurland believed this too good to be true promise and stole that money from Beth Smith. It was just so shitty. And Beth Smith and her husband had absolutely no idea that he took this money. Now, what I don't understand is, I know that the account is in Kurland's name. However, I feel like they had the agreement that he was only allowed to take $5,000. They had to alert them.
If he honors it. Yeah.
I just feel like there should have been an automatic alert when you take that much money out of an account.
Yeah, I also feel like, I thought this when you said it earlier too, like putting the account in his name cannot be the right choice.
Oh, absolutely not.
I think there's a way to like make a trust where you're still like anonymous, but it like goes into a trust and then you're represented through like another company or something.
Yeah.
And you still have access to that money while being anonymous. Like you don't, like the lawyer didn't have to be like, I'll just put it in my name and just kind of like hold on to it for you.
Yeah, unfortunately, like I think, although like her and her husband were already well off, like they just, and I mean, if this were to happen to me, I'd be in the same situation where I'm just not very knowledgeable about these things.
Yeah.
And if I'm trusting somebody and they're like, no, I need to put the account in my name. I mean, I would like to think that I'm smarter than that, but maybe I'm not. But also these people were in their mid to late 50s. And so they're not as savvy with the internet. Not saying that they're not savvy with the internet, but like they may not always be as savvy with the internet. They might not be able to research these things as well. So he definitely took advantage of a lot of people.
I mean, fair enough, yeah.
Now, he stole that money. They invested all that money, but the state of California ended their contract with Bear Mountain because they did not deliver on their promises.
They got $19 million. What do you mean you didn't deliver on your promises?
Well,
oh my God.
Kurland allegedly did not realize that Russo, Smookler, and Churchio were taking the money. When the deal with Bear Mountain ended, Churchio had no money to show for what they had invested, and Kurland started to panic. So the FBI was already investigating them because of everything with
those murder phone calls?
Yeah, because of the murder phone calls. And also there was another client who had alerted the SEC because they were like, there's sketchy stuff happening. Like my investments aren't being properly dealt with. And so they were already under investigation. So with the FBI hot on their tails, the trio started liquidating their businesses and started putting their money into shell corporations that their wives owned, thinking that this would stop the FBI from freezing their accounts.
Like they can't look up to find who your wives are?
Dumb. Yeah. There were also multiple, this whole next part I'm about to talk about, they're so dumb. Like classic dumb behavior. There were also multiple conversations between the men about the FBI finding out what they were doing and how to avoid the FBI entirely. Churchio made it loud and clear that he wasn't worried about the FBI, and he was quoted saying, "It doesn't matter, I laugh at them." But here's the problem with Russo and Churchio. They are part of crime families.
Yeah.
They've dealt with the FBI a lot in their lives, and so they aren't scared of the FBI. And you should be. I think it's okay to have a healthy fear of the FBI.
Yeah. Yeah. More of a fear if you're JFK.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you're just a Kennedy in general.
Yeah.
You should be afraid.
I'd be fucking shaking in my boots.
Oh, I would be. Russo and Smookler also discussed destroying evidence that was on record. Dumb. Kurland stole and misappropriated $107 million from his big 3 lottery winners. 80 million of that was stolen, and 83 million of that was taken from the Smiths alone. Like out of that 107 million, 83 million came from the Smiths.
Jeez.
On August 13th, 2020, On August 13th, 2020, the men were indicted. They were charged with 21 counts of wire fraud and money laundering. Kurland was also charged with honest services fraud. Kurland did not plead guilty, but everybody else did. His lawyer argued that he was duped and thought that he was making legitimate investments. However, there's enough evidence of recordings that they have that prove that he was complicit. He was complicit and he knew. He also, like, even the whole thing of like, you should invest in these companies, but I have a stake and I get a 1% finder's fee is already, like, that's all sketchy. I don't know if it's technically illegal, but it's...
No, I feel like a lot of people do that.
Yeah, but it's definitely sketchy. It was definitely clear that he was skimming money off the top this entire time. He's not innocent in this. On July 26, 2022, Kurland was found guilty and was sentenced to 13 years in prison and was ordered to forfeit $64.6 million. He also has a restitution amount. He has to pay restitution, but the amount has not been set yet. And he will also never be allowed to practice law again.
Hey, there we go.
Scherchio was sentenced to 5 years in prison and was ordered to pay $26.5 million in restitution. And from what I can personally find, Smukler and Russo have yet to be sentenced.
Also, we haven't made fun of it yet, but Smukler, man?
Oh, yeah, that's terrible ass name.
Come on, Smukler?
Oh, yeah, crazy
he probably
last
got
name.
bullied into a life of crime just because he can't go anywhere else without
He's
getting
like-
made fun of.
He's like, I'll show you. He's like a boy named Sue, if you know that song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what Smukler is.
Smukler.
Because his name is Francis, too, which is such a
Francis Smukler?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's a terrible name.
Yeah, that's the name of a guy who gets beat up. I'm sorry. It
sounds like a character.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah,
it does
yeah.
not sound
That's
like a real
Simpsons
person.
character.
Yo, yeah,
Francis
absolutely.
Smukler. Yeah.
Francis Smukler is
Yes.
totally a Simpsons character. Well, luck ran out for Jason Kurland, and his house of lottery cards began to fall. He thought that he had hit the jackpot when he created his newfound profession representing lottery winners, but he was really just a fraud. Although the scheme with Bear Mountain set was his ultimate downfall, it does not scratch off the surface of what Kurland had been doing to clients for years. Kurland, Smukler, and Russo were a real pick 3 when it came to stealing people's money and scamming them until their funds ran dry. They were caught when it was found out that their theft went into the mega millions. It goes to show that most people cannot be trusted and that you really need to be careful who you pick for representation. Kurland is proof that with one great Powerball comes great downfall.
You used scratch off twice, and that's just such lazy writing.
I know it is. I know it's lazy writing.
So, although I wanted to give you a laugh or two on principle, I cannot. So,
That's okay.
So I apologize.
That's fine. I don't care. I don't care.
You care.
No, I knew what I was doing. When I put scratch off twice, I was like, oh, he's going to roast me for this.
Absolutely,
I'm like,
will.
he's
Come on,
not
man.
going to be down with that.
Come on, man.
It's all right. It's fine. It's fine. I'll take the L.
Well,
no
you have no
W
choice.
over
You
here.
are taking it.
Just like all my times I've played the lottery, I lost that one.
Yeah. Taking the L there, too.
Yeah.
Wow. You sound so cool right now.
I am cool. I got that Riz.
No, you don't.
I got Riz.
You don't. Nina, like the number Nina.
I'm the Rizzler.
You were not the Rizzler.
I'm the Rizzler.
You're not the Rizzler. I think if the internet has anything to say about it, it's that D'Amelio girl.
Okay, yeah.
Charlie
Rizzler.
D'Amelio?
She's got Rizzler.
Not related to Charlie Bucket. I think Charlie D'Amelio's house does not smell like old people and cabbage.
Nah, probably not.
Full circle, baby. That's what we're talking about.
All right. Well, if you
Get us out of here.
Yeah, if you liked what you heard, I don't know if you did after all that. After I ended the episode, if you did like what you heard, you can support us in a number of ways. Some free ways you can support us is by following us on social media. We are on Facebook.com/WhiteCollarsRedHands. We're on Twitter at WhiteCollarsPod. We're on Instagram at WhiteCollars_RedHands. We're on TikTok at WhiteCollarsRedHands. And we are on YouTube at, you guessed it, White Collars Red Hands. Another free way that you can support us is by giving us a rating. You can go on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, and we love a 5-star rating, but an honest rating or an honest review with constructive criticism is also good.
Yeah.
Another way you can support us is if you hear of a topic and you're like, oh my God, Nina and Kashan should cover that. We are going to be putting together our next season pretty soon. What is it? Season 16?
Yep. Season 16.
Holy shit, dude. Yeah, we're going to be putting together season 16 pretty soon. So if you hear anything that you think we should cover, please send it on over. You can email us at whitecollarsredhands@gmail.com, or you can DM us on any of our socials. An unfree way that you can support us is by going to our website and clicking on the merch tab. Kashan's wearing one of the shirts right now, and that will take you to TeePublic, where you can buy a variety of different things to help us support. And then another way that you can help us out is by telling a friend. If you just tell a friend and let them know about the podcast, word of mouth is one of the greatest ways to spread information. Mm-hmm. And I think that's it. Mm-hmm. Another way, you know what? This too. You think about it for a second. If you're listening to us on Spotify, just click the story, click share, and then there's a way to share what you're listening to your Instagram story, and that also gets traction.
Yeah. I don't use Instagram, so that sounds like something you can do.
Yeah, no, it's something that you can totally do, and it would help us, so thank you so much. And I think that's it.
Sounds it to me.
All right. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on another episode of White Collars,
Red Hands.